Hi there, this is Dr. J. Kent Gregory, and I am going to present to you kind of a summary and high points of Chapter 6, Compensation and Benefits in Human Resource Management by Laura Portales. So this is a really important chapter, as all of the chapters are, but this really gets to the crux of what a lot of human resource professionals deal with on a daily basis. Um, but there are a lot of really good details in this chapter, as there are in all of the chapters, but a lot of really good details in terms of terms and concepts to know and understand. But I'm going to hit the key takeaways for the most part. So one of the first sets of key takeaways is a compensation package is the important part of the overall strategic HRM plan, right? And these things can include the compensation plan can include things like salary, bonuses, whole gamut of employee benefits like healthcare plans, dental plans, disability plans, life insurance plans, as well as things like retirement plans, 401ks or 403bs if you're a nonprofit. And if we were to distill it down, the goals of compensation are to attract people to work for your organization and then to retain them. And it can also be used to motivate employees to work at peak performance and to improve overall morale. And employees who are fairly compensated tend to provide better customer service, and there's a better feel about the office or the company. So before beginning to work on a pay system, whether you're setting up a new pay system for a company, reevaluating the existing pay system, you need to ask some basic general questions, right? So these have got to be, what is a fair wage from the employee's perspective, right? A lot of times we think of this as top down from, what do the owners and the presidents and the CEOs think, or head of HR, what does he or she think? But really, if we're looking at it from the perspective of we're trying to attract and retain good employees, we have to take into consideration the employee's perspective. So a pay philosophy can be developed after basic questions are asked. Some will implement a market compensation philosophy. Others will use a market plus philosophy, and others will use a market minus philosophy. And then once these tasks are done, then you can start building your pay system. So kind of sum up some of the summary of implementing the compensation strategy. You're going to start with compensation, internal and external factors. What's driving, what are the forces driving the compensation in terms of, let's think about, okay, well, what are my competitors for these jobs, for these individuals? What are they charging? Or not charging? What are they paying their employees, or what are they offering those employees? And how do we respond to that? So job evaluation, then the type of pay system, the types of pay, straight salary, commission plus or a bonus plus commission. And then there are legal and pay theories to think about. And then you finally get to the implementation. So key takeaways of that part. Job evaluation system has got to be used to determine the relative value of one job versus another. And this is the first step to setting up the pay system. There's several types of pay systems can be implemented. A pay grade system sets up specific pay levels for particular jobs, while a going rate system looks at the pay throughout the industry for a certain job title. Management fit gives maximum flexibility for managers to pay what they think someone should earn. Now, of course, I think this last one can lead to a lot of discrepancies in pay levels across an organization. So that while this is good, you got to be careful about this. And HR managers can also develop pay systems based on skills and competency, utilize things known as broad banding, which is similar to pay grades, and then a variable pay. Some further takeaways. There are the motivational theories, where equity theory says that people will evaluate their own satisfaction with their compensation by comparing it to others' compensation. There's the expectancy theory that says people will put in only as much work as they expect to receive in rewards. And then the reinforcement theory says that high performance is followed by a reward. High performance is going to happen or likely to happen in the future. Other pay considerations include size of the organization, whether the company is global, local, regional, the level of communication and employment involvement in compensation, and then HR managers, to pick up on what we said a little bit before, got to be aware of what others are paying in this industry, and you can perform market surveys for that. Several laws pertain to pay: the EEOC, the FLSA, and then FUTA requires employers to pay unemployment taxes. And then FECA or FICA ensures that federal employees receive certain benefits. So some other types of compensation. So there's things that are known as mandated compensation. So this is Social Security, and a person will see that coming out of their tax. Coming out as a tax. There's Medicare. There's also unemployment, workers' compensation, and then COBRA, which is the Consolidated Omnibus Budget and Reconciliation Act. So to look at the FICA tax, so about 6.2% up to 128,400 in salary goes to Social Security, and then Medicare is 1.45%. So out of individuals' taxes, and then it's matched by the employer. And so there are other types of compensation to consider. And among voluntary compensation, it would be incentive pay systems, medical insurance, 401k plans, 403b plans, paid time off. And some other things to keep in mind are things like stock option plans, so ESOPs, employee stock option plan, as well as preferred stock purchasing. So all sorts of things to keep in mind there. And then a final thing to keep in mind is paid vacation. And I bring this up because this is a developing point or developing area in HR. Whether paid vacation will be specific days, or whether these are going to be could be combined with holidays, all sorts of things like that. So this brings us to a conclusion of the summaries and high points uh, of compensation and benefits. Thank you much.